Hey folks, Brittany from HeatSpring here today to talk to you about HAZWOPER training. This video is going to be a quick guide to choosing the right hazardous waste operations and emergency response training for you. Let's start with what is HAZWOPER. HAZWOPER training is required for workers who respond to uncontrolled releases of hazardous substances. This can be from chemical spills and fires to cleanups at contaminated sites like brownfields or abandoned industrial sites. At HeatSpring, we offer a couple different options for courses for this training, and they all satisfy OSHA standards 29 CFR 1910.120 as well as 1926.65. So that's both for general industry and construction. Covers the same requirements in both sectors. Who needs this training? Well, there's 5 specific groups that need HAZWOPER training. Workers doing cleanup operations required by government bodies, corrective actions involving cleanup at Resource Conservation and Recovery Act sites, RCRA, operations at treatment, storage, and disposal facilities required under RCRA, work at facilities that generate hazardous waste, and finally, emergency response operations that involve the release of or substantial threat of release of hazardous substances, regardless of the location of the hazards. So this includes equipment operators or general laborers, supervisors, hazmat technicians, incident commanders, and management personnel. So it's really smart to have at least somebody on your team who has these skills, has this knowledge, even if it's not something you're typically going to be encountering in the day-to-day, but maybe just an emergency situation. We offer 3 different levels of HAZWOPER training. The largest training is a 40-hour HAZWOPER, and this is required for general site workers and laborers when there's a high exposure risk. Most new workers will start here at that 40-hour training. We also offer a 24-hour HAZWOPER training, and that's for workers with occasional site exposure or those working in monitored areas below permissible limits. So that could be like surveyors or groundwater monitors. And then lastly, we offer an 8-hour HAZWOPER training, and that's intended to be an annual refresher training that's required for anybody who's previously completed the 40 or 24-hour course. One thing that's very important to note is that online training alone is not enough. OSHA also requires supervised field experience. And it's 3 days minimum for the 40-hour course folks and 1 day minimum for the 24-hour course folks. And your employer should arrange this hands-on training to cover any site-specific hazards where you are and PPE use. Regardless of which HAZWOPER training you take, you will be learning about worksite hazards, hazardous material detection, site emergencies, toxicology, personal protective equipment levels, decontamination, and emergency response procedures. Thanks so much for learning about HAZWOPER training with me, and hope to see you in class.